$50 million.
Yeah, for him.
$50 million.
A year?
A lot of money.
A year.
What do franchise quarterbacks go for these days?
About 50
About
million?
50 million.
40, so.
No. They go for 50. They are about the $50 million range. That's what it costs. It sounds like a lot of money because it is a lot of money. But it's all relative to what the marketplace says a franchise quarterback is. When I said that the Miami Dolphins should make Tua the highest paid quarterback, everyone flipped out. But it's Tua's turn to get paid, as it's Trevor Lawrence's turn to get paid. If you think that Trevor Lawrence is a franchise quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I believe he is, then you have to pay him. And you should pay him as soon as possible, because this is the cheapest he will ever be. Do I think that he's done developing? No. Do I think he's achieved everything that he has been expected to achieve in the NFL? No. Do I think that he looks exactly the way that we expected him to look out of college? No. But I do think he is the franchise quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's how much a franchise quarterback costs. If you have a family of 3 and you want everybody to have a bedroom and multiple bathrooms and a garage, and you live in a certain city, that's how much it costs. And you might not like it to cost that much, and you might think this house is way overpriced. And guess what? It probably is, because you could probably get that same house in another state, in another city, for way cheaper. But guess what? You don't want to live there, do you? You want to live in the city you're in, and that's what it costs. Yeah. This is what it costs for a franchise quarterback. I get it. It sounds like a lot. It's scary. It's very committal. But you can work the deal out so that it doesn't completely hamstring your franchise. He is the future of the Jags. If you wait until next year, which is an option for you, guess what he's going to cost? More than he costs right now. And you might be in a completely different situation. So I think they should pay him. I know it sounds like a lot. But after 2 years, if he ends up not being the guy you want, you can move on. But you're not going to move on from him in the next 2 to 3 years, so you might as well pay him now.
You know, I would tell my kids, y'all been acting up in school and all that. Y'all finna share a room, no bathroom. Because we ain't moving in that neighborhood. I don't know. I don't know if this dude is capable of winning a Super Bowl. I don't know if he's our franchise quarterback. I don't know.
Why we gotta talk about Super Bowls?
But I'm just saying, because when you pay a quarterback $50 million, you are thinking this quarterback has a chance to take us and help us get to the Super Bowl, right? That's why you're paying a franchise quarterback. I don't necessarily know that he's shown us that yet. I need to see one more year, and it might cost me a couple extra chips if he goes out here and balls out and plays out of his mind and leads them to another playoff win or whatever. It might cost me some more money. But I need to see more from Trevor Lawrence. I've seen this right here, a roller coaster of a career since he's came into the National Football League. I'm not necessarily ready to pay him $50 million and say this kid could take us to the Super Bowl, because he has not shown me that yet. He has not shown me that even to really play at a really consistent level year after year. And on top of that, he's been banged up. You ain't shown me that you can be healthy. So I don't necessarily know that I want to pay you $50 million before this season even starts. I want to wait this year out. I want to see how you play. And then, like I say, if it costs me $55 million, it costs me $55 million. I'm willing to take that. But I need to see if this is the quarterback that we want to run our franchise for the next 10-plus years that can lead us to a Super Bowl. I don't know if he can do that.
It's not. It doesn't have to be 10
$50 million, a lot
years.
of money,
They're
man.
not signing 10-year contracts.
5 years, that's a lot of bread.
Some good takes. I never thought he was that good. I've been saying that, right? And it looks like I was right. Should he get paid $50 million? A part of me says yes, but with stipulation in his contract, right? And I'll explain why, what I'm saying. When I look at Trevor Lawrence, I see a quarterback that's been surrounded by great athletes since he's been in high school and in college. And we all hype, well, I didn't, but people hyped him up. He's supposed to be so great, generational talent. I don't see none of that. I don't see nothing that makes him even special, right? And you talked about Tua. I'm glad you mentioned Tua. When you talk about getting a contract, if I'm Tua or if I am Trevor Lawrence, I'm not making it a hard negotiations. If the team wants to talk to me about it, cool. Like, let's talk about it. But I'm not going to go back and forth with them too much, because, let's be honest, Tua's the type of quarterback that before McDaniels got there and all them players got there, we all thought he was what, okay? Above average.
Talk about trade.
Right? So now you bring a really good coach, with the Jaguars have, and Doug Peterson.
Yeah, great coach.
Then you bring in some more talent, like Miami did, okay? Now, I feel like a lot of quarterbacks that we don't think is that good on other teams, they get to a team like Miami, and now they look good like Tua looks good. Okay. You feel where I'm going with that? Because we didn't think Tua was that good before he had the coaches and the players. Okay, let's go to the Jaguars. The same situation. I would give, if he's trying to get a contract done and they're willing to give it to him, I would take it. But I wouldn't be fighting back to get extra money because I don't think you're that good. Two, you haven't really done that much in this league. And it's like, three, why would you pay him that much money? What have you done for the Jaguars? Let's talk about it. Because they didn't go nowhere. I watched a guy like Blake Bortles. Remember him?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember him?
Of course.
He was just okay.
Worse than okay.
He took them boys to, what did he take them to? The AFC Championship game? He did that.
Supposed to.
He did that. So if you ask about paying these guys all this money, what have you done to deserve that? Because you're not one of the elite quarterbacks in this league. Him or Tua is. They're good players, but they're not in that elite category. And you haven't took your team anywhere to be paying y'all that much money. So if you're asking me, right, I wouldn't pay him that money. But hey, if they talking right now, Trevor, you need to get up there and sign that contract. You into it.
I could go either way. I'm split. The reason I think you have to pay him is because the last time the Jags had a quarterback this good, you probably have to go back to Mark Brunell. James Jones, that's before you got into the National Football League. And you got into the Football League. The last time. You got to go back to Mark Brunell, 2003, family. That 99 to 2003 stretch, if you will. Jags getting a great quarterback is hard to do, like the Cleveland Browns getting a great quarterback. And you saw what the Cleveland Browns had to do just to get into the sweepstakes for a great quarterback, which is guaranteed Deshaun Watson a full $236 million deal. So because Trevor Lawrence, though he's not great, Shady, he's not bad. I think you're not going to necessarily get better. The reason I don't think you're going to get better was because you didn't get better in 20 years before Trevor Lawrence's arrival. Mark Brunell left the Jags in 2003. So I think you have to pay Trevor because ultimately I do think he will be your guy. Now, James, I don't think he's proven enough that he is your guy. But I don't know that you're going to get better in Jacksonville.
But what I'm saying is the number, though. Like, I'm cool if we paying him, like I said, Kirk Cousins money. I said that about Dak Prescott. I don't think you deserve Jared Goff money because you ain't showed in the playoffs that you could deliver like that. Kirk Cousins money. I just think everybody's so caught up in this $50 million. That's where I'm at as an organization. I don't know if I want to give you 50.
Hell no.
Now, if you talking 39, 40, cool, we could talk about it, whatever that contract may look like.
Baker?
But 50?
Baker's cool, right?
Signed a 3-year $100. But the difference, Shady, I would suggest, if you're Trevor Lawrence in his representation, he's 24 years of age. In his last 2 seasons, he's 17 and 16, right? If you disregard the first year with the colossal coaching kind of chaos, he's 17 and 16. He has a playoff win. Kyler Murray became the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL before accomplishing any of those things, and Kyler Murray still does not have a playoff win. Obviously, Justin Herbert, he's incredibly talented, but what we know about Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert, too, does not have a playoff win. So when I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence, you got a 24-year-old quarterback, a 24-year-old quarterback who has a winning record with his current head coach, a 24-year-old quarterback who has a winning record with his current head coach and has a playoff win, and we're in a dogfight with the Chiefs. Now, obviously, y'all were watching the game. Mahomes, he missed some time, but we're in a dogfight with the Chiefs. If you don't pay him, and he ends up being your guy, you're in a dilemma.
That's the argument to give him. Hold on, real quick. You was playing agent right there? That was the agent game he was playing? That's your argument to go get $50 million? What is that?
Because
do you trust Doug Peterson or do you trust Trevor Lawrence?
Doug.
All right, so my thing is, I can see Gardner Minshew, right, doing the same thing Trevor Lawrence has done under Doug Peterson. Can you? Yeah, I know.
No, I do not see Gardner Minshew beating the Chargers in the playoff game.
I mean,
but I can see Gardner going 9-8 with Doug.
It's not about. That's not all it's about.
So you get
It's also
so
about
one playoff win equals $50 million.
We don't want to talk about Gardner Minshew. Okay, we're talking about your franchise quarterback.
They're the same.
They're not the same. He's 24 years old.
And he's okay. I don't need to hug. I'm just keeping it real. He's just okay. Unless you think he's nice. I don't know. Do y'all think he's nice?
He hasn't shown.
How good is he, though?
Nice.
How good is he, though?
And that's the question.
Come on, man.
That's why I wouldn't pay him this year.
Man.
It's about strategy for the long term as well. If you think he is your franchise quarterback, then even if you don't get to $50 million or you get a second highest paid or third highest paid or whatever, you are paying him early for later. The number always goes up. Always. Always. There was a time when $40 million for a franchise quarterback was unheard of. Now you're like, that's a deal, sign it immediately.
It is for him.
And it wasn't that long ago.
I'm just asking you, Joy, you think he's the franchise quarterback?
I think he is the franchise quarterback.
That's my question.
Because he has a playoff win, so I know what he's capable of doing when things are going well. Do I think he's still developing? Do I still think he's reached his ceiling? I do not. But I also think it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. what are your options? You don't pay him. Say he has a great year. Say he goes out this year and wins
That's saying a lot, though.
No, it's not. Say he goes win the playoff game.
You say him be that ain't much though. I can name if you want.
There's lots of. We're about to talk about the Jets. What block we doing the Jets? We're doing the Jets next. You know the last time the Jets been to the playoffs? You know the last time the Jets went to a playoffs, not won a playoff game, went to the Jets. Because it does matter. Going to the playoffs matters.
If you talking about getting a playoff win, I can name you mad quarterbacks that got that.
Here's my fear.
That shouldn't be a criteria to get in.
My fear, Joy, because I am on Joy's side with this. I have two fears though. Is Trevor Lawrence Marcus Mariota? Remember Marcus Mariota,
That's a
right?
great point.
Are your favorite? Is he Baker Mayfield?
Different so. Mariota was younger when he had his success, went to a playoff, won a playoff game. In Tennessee, he was 20-22 in his first 3 years. But they picked up his fifth-year option, and they realized, you know what? You're not going to take us all that far. Mm-hmm. So, and the only other fear I have is, Joy, I think the operative word is
And what team was this with?
Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. Which is another kind of irrelevant franchise at the time.
And what have the Tennessee Titans done since?
They've won playoff games.
They've done the same thing they did when they had Mariota to when they didn't have Mariota. Am I tripping?
No, they've done more. They went to an AFC Championship game with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And okay.
They didn't. But the point is, no, to your point.
They haven't done nothing.
Has Tennessee been somebody that we talk about? Are we going to say, have we said Tennessee Titans once in the year of 2024?
It wasn't a regret letting go of Mariota.
I understand, but do you think that Trevor Lawrence is done? You think this is as good as he's ever going to be?
I think higher of Trevor Lawrence than Shady does.
Why?
Actually. Well, because I actually think Shady, he has a wiry arm. I actually think he has mobility. I actually think he has a strong arm.
But do you see that on Sundays?
Not often enough.
I know you don't.
Not often enough.
I know you don't.
But I don't to me, I don't look down at Trevor Lawrence in the sense that I think he has potential. It has to materialize.
And I understand what Joy's saying because it's a possibility the price can go up. I'm just saying I'm willing to accept those risks because I need to see that you're that dude going into this season. I need to come out of this season saying, oh, shoot, we got him. Dang, I wish I would have signed him last year. It's going to cost me some more money now.
This is my only question, though, right? Because I don't want to say, hey, I'm just going to be honest. I was going to put y'all as a GM for a second, though, right? You talk about the playoff wins, right? Playoff win,
singular.
Yes.
I can sit here, if you want me to, and name you quarterbacks that have had one playoff win, right? That don't mean that they should get a $50 million contract.
I agree.
What I'm saying is, what makes you believe, or y'all, I guess y'all rocking out, what makes you believe that he's a franchise quarterback? Seriously, though. Let's take the one playoff win, let's put that away, because I can name you a lot of quarterbacks that done that.
You can't take away the best part of his career. You can't do that. That'd be like saying, let's take away Justin Herbert's rookie season. Oh, okay, Justin Herbert's been hurt.
Take every year away. What are the other ones, though? He's been
paid, though.
But I'm saying because he has elite talent.
We don't know what he's going to do. He's done nothing. He's won regular season games and put up some numbers.
How it works when you get paid for success you do with your team.
Correct.
And potential.
Okay.
And potential.
And one of them is the other one is the talent and all that.
Okay.
So one, he doesn't have the talent, in my opinion.
They think he does. That's the thing. I don't think he does.
Okay, well, when we watch, we don't see it. And the other part is you get one win in the playoffs and you was getting smoked and y'all came back? Not from your arm, either.
You want to know. Either wins or a quarterback sat or they're not.
I'm done with it.
I need one more year.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.